Today, we are starting here on the title screen because I have a confession to make. I feel sort of like how Icarus must have felt when he flew too close to the sun, because my hubris of last episode seems to have caught up with me. You see, I forgot to hit record when I went in to do the next episode. I got through the entire thing. I did my whole spiel at the end, went to hit stop recording, and the button said start recording, and I was crushed. And the biggest issue is, like, every single mission in this game is very easy to replay, but the biggest issue is that I had already collected all the bottles in one of the levels that I did. And I was thinking pretty much the only way I was going to be able to show where all the bottles were would be using someone else's footage, and I just didn't want to do that. So, between episodes, I have created a new file here and played all the way through to this point in the game. I say all the way, it only took me like an hour, because at the end of the day, if you are ignoring bottles and stuff, this game is pretty dang short. What that does mean... There we go. Yeah, don't cut me off, Panda King. The consequence of that is that I only have 2 abilities, dive and roll, just from some of the random levels that I was doing. So, what's most unfortunate is that the level that I was going to do this episode, the Unseen Foe, is a really great level to show off the ability of moving while invisible. But I'm just going to have to do without today. So that's how we're going. Yes, sleep now, little monkey. We're heading on. Now, what's interesting about this level is that it actually reuses a song from Raleigh's Fortress. I think this is just about the only time this ever happens, where a level reuses a song.
This looks like a good place to try out your new invisibility move. Hold down the circle button to drop out of sight. While invisible, nothing can see you. Not lasers, not searchlights, not guards. Oh, and if the guards already see you, then the invisibility trick won't work on them.
So as I was saying, this is probably the only time that a level uses a song that isn't from its own region. But it's very fitting for this level, with how absolutely sneaky it is. Overall, I would say that the first area of the game, in the Welsh Triangle, was a lot sneakier, and in more recent ones we've been a little more brazen, so having a level like this is cool. Now the Panda King, his eye for security is far superior to the rest of the members of the Fiendish Five. He's actually created measures that cover entire spaces that something the size of a regular human cannot slip through with relative ease. And we've done it here. Cool stuff. That whole moving laser wall is on such a different level from everything else. Take that mugshot. Take that Raleigh. Get out of here with your moving floor panels. And this is a cool twist on the sort of fire tiki torches we had in Miss Ruby's Fortress. They're firework ones. Alright, we're gonna sneak on down here, because this man is guarding our bottles. I demand bottles. Climb on back up, they don't expect us to backtrack. I do feel it's kind of unfortunate that I essentially just played this level, so it's not going to have too many surprises in store for me personally, but I'm going to try and play it straight, as though I don't know exactly what I'm doing. Even if I do... Uh-oh. Ooh, that was close. This particular hazard is so much easier when we've got the mobile invisibility power. But I think we can just... There we go. On the other hand, it is cool that I'm a little bit limited, because this level is definitely designed around not having the moving invisibility power. So you know, I enjoy challenge. It's challenge mode. All in all, comes back around to just being a bit fortuitous. I thought I saw a horseshoe jumping around over here, but I guess not. Let's slide on over. Into the second major set piece of this level. You can see our key right here. And I do have to wonder if there's some sort of way that you glitch your way right through this wall, or at least glitch your cane through the wall, but we wouldn't even if we could, because I want to finish this level off and get all my bottles. Whoa! Jackie Chan! Get out of here, Kung Pao, Chow Mei, General So. I still remember. Just because it's a different file and I don't technically have the BIOS in my Binocucom. I recall from another life. The other level that I did is going to be really easy to replay. Because it's one of the mini-game ones. So it ultimately ends up just being a little unfortunate. So we can't go that way. I could if I even had decoy, but I do not. So we're going to have to come in from above. Death from above. Success. Okay. This whole pagoda is a really cool sort of set piece to design a level around. I enjoy it hugely. And just as soon as I say that, the level sends us away from it. That's fine. So we've got a whole floor here full of lasers, once again. And we can utilize our invisibility to sort of slip by some of them, but I'd prefer to just jump. Get rid of the alarm. Waste no time. Take no prisoners. And I went ahead and picked my bottles there and just ignored these till the proper time. I've learned my lessons. Ooh, now this is interesting. This kind of reminds me of Fire Down Below. It's been a long time since we've ridden a moving hook. Actually, that's only one way that this level borrows a few things. I feel like this level isn't designed a lot to give you nostalgia towards the beginning of the game. Because there are many elements. There's the music, there's the moving hooks from Fire Down Below, and then there's one more thing, which I will show off here in a minute. Right after we've found the vault, but we're missing but one bottle. Thank you, Bentley. I had already planned on it. It's right here. Okay. Here we go.
It was a challenge, but this vault's combination has got to be 667.
I've got a better idea. There we go. Now, unfortunately,
Standing! Another page from the Phoebius Raccoonus. This one features Dev Cooperenda's slow motion jumps.
my favorite slow motion jumps.
Hit the triangle button while in the air to slow down time.
Yes, unfortunately, since I already did this, how can I explain this? Since this is a different file where I did not 100% the game on my way up here, I did not get the ability that I would have otherwise gotten had I gotten every single safe that I used on my main file. The power that we actually got there was this anti-gravity power, which is essentially the bottomless pit version of the anti-drowning power. The water safety tips, I believe it was called. If I can find some clean footage of Bentley describing it, I will put it right here.
Incredible! I never would have thought this was possible. Sir Augustine of Cooper's technique to briefly defy gravity. From now on, you should be able to pop right out of those bottomless pits you keep falling into, and you won't even lose a lucky charm.
And I really doubt that I'm not going to be able to find that, but just in case that is the case, then I'll just apologize. There's only so much I can do right here.
Why, this pagoda is some kind of huge gunpowder production plant. Judging by the scale, the Panda King must be making tons of explosives.
And we have this puzzle, which we haven't seen since police headquarters, of all things. It's a little tougher than that was, but ultimately, just follow the platforms, and Sly will do the rest. Let's knock things out. Okay, I will meet you guys back on my main file, where the damage has practically not been done. Okay, back over here in the second half of the level. We're gonna sneak on over this way to this gun bike. The one thing that I'm not gonna be able to show here is the fact that there's usually a door here that Sly will shoot through. Other than that, this level, which I do already have the key for, is gonna be relatively unchanged. Bentley, get over here.
This vehicle is identical to the one.
Wait, Bentley, say the thing, hang on. So this is weird. What Bentley has to say here is honestly pretty plot relevant, but they made it so that if you shoot the door down, which is literally the only thing you can do in this tiny space, it cuts him off.
This vehicle is identical to the one you found in Miss Ruby's lair. Someone with some serious high-tech skills must be providing these guys with hardware. The fifth member of the Fiendish Five, perhaps? Remember, use the left analog stick to move and aim the right analog stick in the direction you want to shoot. You know, I bet that cannon is powerful enough to blow down those heavy security doors.
There we go. So I would guess that they made it cut him off there because they didn't want the tutorial for shooting the door down to play after you've already shot a door down. But what's funny about that is that, like I said, there's usually a door like that blocking the level, which Sly will automatically shoot and show you that you can shoot the door down. So the tutorial's already redundant anyway. What heck? I'm not at the head here. I like how both of the Panda King's announcements have just been like, please kill any visitors we get. Thank you. That is all. Ooh, what's this? Oop. Ooh. Nice. I love wanton, pointless destruction. That's why I've been destroying everything with my cane. So these ninja monkeys, this is the third level in a row where we haven't been able to scan their bios for one reason or another. I actually kind of wonder if they even have bios, because we've only got one other level to do after this, and I don't think these guys are in it. So maybe they just don't exist as far as the employee files are concerned. They must not be union. Actually, funnily enough, they're very similar to the ghosts in the headstones that we had in the last gunship level, in the fact that they stopped spawning, but while destroying the ghost headstone, like, destroyed their source of power, basically, we're not really destroying anything here. We're just closing the flaps over top of the uh-oh. So as I was saying, for the ninja monkey spawners, all we're really doing is yeah. So all we're really doing is closing the flaps on top of the monkeys, and they are apparently just unmotivated enough that causes them to give up completely. I guess that's what happens when you don't have union. Okay, we're almost finished with this level here. I'm gonna take this one up because I'm dying a lot. Lots of monkey flingers. I've had a lot of trouble with these guys in the past. The level at this point is getting just a touch repetitive, so I'm glad we're almost through it, especially since I've already done it! I will be salty about this for a long time, hopefully long enough to make sure that I don't make the same mistake for yet another long time. And we're through. No fancy key get animation, but by this point you've seen it like 40 times, so it's fine. Okay. And that is gonna knock out China. So we're gonna head on over back to the lair in the swamp and do our speed run of the day, a grave undertaking. Now I have struggled tremendously with this one. As I said, I do consider this to be the hardest level in the game, and I didn't really do a good job of showing off why I think that is. Because I kind of breezed through it. But not so this time, not the case. I spent too much time in prep. I missed the hourglass, hang on. Now with that being said, this is a great speedrunning level. There is a lot of skips possible here. And just generally stuff that you can do, because the entire level is 2 layers directly on top of each other. So there are at least 3 different points that I know of that you can use to get up to the second level, all varying degrees of difficulty. I'm gonna try and use what I consider to be the second hardest of them. The first hardest is a crazy out-of-bounds speedrunner skip that I haven't even been able to replicate remotely. So this is the first one I'm gonna try. It's pretty difficult. Hang on. You gotta get swinging on this hook. Get a good... Hang on. I got this. Get swinging on the hook. Get a good, you know, jump into the water. No, that's not part of it. Swing on the hook, Sly. You can do this. This is like the second thing you learned. There we go. Get a good swing. That wasn't quite right. So our goal here is to get on top of the hook. On top of this arch here. There's a teeny little spot that you can stand. And I'm definitely struggling. Okay, you can get up to here. Jump on here and miss that entirely. I'm going to give this another few tries for this attempt, and if it doesn't work, I'll try something else. Ooh, that was good. That was not good. That was worse. Alright. Bad, bad, bad. Good. Next. Okay. Up to the thing. Up on the thing. Stay on the thing. Okay. Now we jump up on here. Now we jump over here. And miss entirely. Well, that's the general gist of it, anyway. That it is not at all really reasonable to expect to do this in a timely manner. But that's fine, because I do have a reasonable skip that you can do in a timely manner. We're gonna equip, dive, and mess up entirely. That's okay. These enemies give me a lot of trouble. Which is why I've been clearing them out before grabbing the timer. It doesn't save much time, but it probably saves me at least a horseshoe. We got this. So we're gonna skip this hook. Well, not skip it. We're just gonna run through it as normal. Head past Clarence there. Head right past this guy. I'm gonna ignore him, because I don't want to deal with that. And we're gonna hop on this tooth of the alligator. Okay. Not okay. We're still fine. We're good. All's well here. Okay. Hop on this tooth of the alligator. I said... hop on the tooth. Out onto this rock. Kill the ghosts. And then get up on the cheek here. And that's going to pop us up to the second level, skipping that entire central room with lots of security and ghosts and stuff in it. And that alone should be more than enough time saved to leisurely make our way over to the end here. We do have this section here where you have to both do platforming and fend off ghosts. But hopefully we nail it. We did. Good, good. Got a half a dozen mosquitoes here. I might be exaggerating a bit. And we can also do this one other skip around the tree and finish that sprint off. Whew, nice. And that's gonna finish us off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. It has been a great time as usual. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, you might be thinking of hitting that like button. But if you do that, I'll make sure you forget to hit record, and then you will be very sad. I promise you that. I hope you guys enjoy the dev commentary. I will see you guys next time.
The whole waterfalls of soup with the hands and the bones in it are very much inspired by Conan. The scene where they're going into get the room or whatever. There you see this big cauldron of soup that has hands and all this gory stuff in it, and I was like, well, it's nice as in a pot, but as a waterfall, I would like
Boy,
it.
that really grosses me out. It means yeah, actually, yeah, we all like.
I just thought that was your thing. I didn't realize
The
that was
grosser it is, the
inspiration.
happier Karen you are. The grosser it is.
Yes.
More chunks and bits and nibbins.
The more
and gristle,
juicier it is.
the better.
Yeah, originally we were experimenting with how to the very first one had the floor and the ceiling were two separate objects, and the walls were skinned between them. So when you would jump on the floor and the floor would move around and the whole walls would stretch and distort. But
Like being on tongue.
being on a tongue that's pulling on
Like
the
a
feet,
trampoline.
right?
Yeah.
The floor was like a trampoline, and then the entryways would stretch and distort. So the actual doorways would get smaller and bigger. And
Right.
Fitting the number of smart guards in this level that we wanted was pretty difficult because these were probably the most ambitious smart guards in terms of just the number of animated pieces they had was, I think, more than we tried to put in one before, and so we ended up having to do all this clever stuff to get them all in there and get them animating like we wanted.
Really, there's the difference between the initial texture pass in a level and when Karen has time to go in and put all these light cobwebs and all this really nice
Atmospheric sort of stuff.
atmospheric texture buddies and just texture kind of accessories in the world. It really makes a ton of difference. And this world really feels like it got a decent pass at that.
Yeah.
I think we really wanted this level, even the NPCs. We wanted to kind of make it a little bit more scary, and push that angle a little bit more. It's still stylized and has this animated feel, but we wanted it to be, the glowing eyes. I think Hookia did a great job of kind of integrating all the NPCs by giving them all the same sort of glowing eyes. Yeah.
Real consistent.
Exactly.
Actually, the original conception for this sort of level wasn't that it was Sly in a tank. It was Murray sort of going Rambo. And we had a sort of test version that we had up where you were running around as Murray and he could fire in the different directions. And it got nixed for some pretty good reasons. It didn't really fit inside of Murray's character too much.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be kind of this quiet guy who's really not that competent, and having him go through and sort of go full Rambo just didn't work out that well in terms of the character. So the initial design of this game, I think, was derived from the fact that we had a Super Smash TV arcade machine in the office. And so one of the big things that was really fun about it wasn't the deepest game necessarily, but it was pure mayhem the entire time. It was lots of respawning enemies, lots of really simple but fun enemies to basically go after and hit. And we were trying to hit that sort of frantic mark. It's a little bit harder in 3D, and do you have anything to say about sort of the layout to make it so that it was...
Just the way the gun, kind of the gun is designed for this thing. It's not following the terrain or anything like that. It's shooting a horizontal path. So anything that had really kind of heavy gameplay where you're fighting off NPCs, no matter how much dev wanted to funk out the floor and make it curvy and hilly, I was like, can't do it because the bullets don't follow it, and the gameplay suffers because of it. So that's why the sections are each kind of tiered, and you're falling down to the next section. So we can have elevation changes, but each gameplay surface has to be flat while you're playing. And I wish we had a monkey counter that let you know how many monkeys you got in this level. That'd be good.
Yeah.
One of the big things for this level, which Voodoo didn't have quite the same problems is, where are all these monkeys coming from? With the Voodoo ghost generators, okay, it's a ghost, it's magic, whatever. But these are monkeys. You can't just have monkeys come out of thin air. So that's why we have these kind of trapdoor setups that they're jumping out of, trapdoors from a different part of the building to try and motivate the army of nunchuckers that are in here.